Hail Jesus, you're my King.
Hail Jesus, you're my King.
Your life frees me to sing.
Your life frees me to sing.
I will praise you all my days.
I will praise you all my days.
You're perfect in all your ways.
You're perfect in all your ways.
I have a good chunk of Christian friends, and they're my friends for a reason. They know that even though I don't believe in their God or practice their faith, I, as well as many others, live on this earth and live a very different life than they do, and there is nothing wrong with that. With that said, however, it's been a major concern for many Christians that so many people are leaving their faith for either another belief system or a lack of one. To this I say, mind your own business. You don't get to dictate what others can or should believe. Each person living on this planet deserves a right to use critical thinking skills to come to their own conclusion on life and philosophy. Whether or not they continue to remain Christian is entirely up to that person. But if you're looking for an answer as to why people are leaving Christianity into atheism for the most part, I'll do my best to provide a satisfactory answer, even though I don't speak for everyone. Christianity is a religion that tries to sell itself with very genuine intentions. Its sole purpose is to give people meaning in life. Some Christians take it one step beyond and actually use their faith to help them find meaning in other aspects of life, and these are the kinds of people that are my friends. But aside from that, Christianity is a very codependent religion that feeds entirely on blind faith. It requires loyalty, devotion, emotional dedication, and commitment. Sometimes, inadvertently however, it also requires a lot of money, and that is the first major problem with Christianity. You see, when a Christian is reaching out to others about their faith, they're not trying to discuss religious philosophy and to get you to think about this kind of stuff. They're trying to sell you a religion. Religious televangelists such as Bob Larson and Billy Graham use manipulative tactics to extort money from their audience. This is no longer about looking for self-improvement, but more about blind loyalty and a blank paycheck to people who avoid paying taxes. Yeah, actually, I did mean that very last sentence I said there. It is a big deal to note that religious factions do not pay taxes. They don't have to pay taxes. There was an episode of John Oliver's Last Week Tonight where he legally turned his own studio into a church simply by checking off a few qualifications that were needed to be met, and he even reported that it was far easier than anticipated. He then satirically christened his church Our Lady of Perpetual Exemption. Unfortunately, he did have to disband the church.
Exactly, all of this is over. Do not send us anything anymore. If you want to send money to a fake church, send it to Scientology.
Another negative aspect of Christianity is the Bible. Upon the numerous contradictions and censorship and many altercations of the book, the Bible is a book of old, outdated tales and lessons that do not translate well in a modern society. And as much as I commend my Christian friends for not being bigoted and xenophobic towards the people they live with on this earth, the fact of the matter is that for every love thy neighbor in the Bible, there is another lesson of hate, violence, and destruction. Many Christians are cherry pickers of the Bible, and that's alright with me. The problem with the Bible is when it becomes a reality with politicians and 50% of Republicans wanting to replace the U.S. Constitution with this utterly misogynistic and judgmental pile of garbage. This is seen with the many religious organizations, including but not limited to the Westboro Baptist Church. The Westboro Baptist Church, for those who do not know, is a religious group that shows up to random events and protests shouting anti-Semitic phrases, homophobic language, and praising God for very tragic events such as the attack on September 11 and the Sandy Hook shooting. They even protest military funerals of soldiers who perished at war overseas.
They think that they're the only ones that are going to go to heaven. And if you don't go to that church, you're going to go to hell.
Do you feel like you were brainwashed looking back?
I almost think I was brainwashed into thinking that I wasn't brainwashed.
Why protest military funerals?
They think that they're fighting for a nation that supports homosexuality.
At what point did you finally start to think, this is wrong, what I believe in, what I've been doing?
I had a friend, and her husband was in the military, and he died, and we picketed his funeral. I wasn't there, but my family went there, and I didn't think that it was right. There was a point when we started praying for people to die, and I didn't actually do that, but I was around when they did it.
This is Libby Phelps Alvarez. She left the Westboro Baptist Church even though her grandfather is the founder of the church and had even snuck out against her parents' will. This is the kind of person she was before she left.
Are you going to bring someday, will you bring your children to these pickets?
If I ever get married and have kids, and if I don't ever foresee myself getting married and therefore not having kids. Because God has a standard, and that standard is God hates fornicators, whoremongers, and adulterers. He says God will damn in hell forever. So if I don't get married, I'm going to be a virgin for the rest of my life, and I am just good with that because I know that I have a
Doesn't
duty.
God also say that you should be fruitful and multiply?
In marriage, if I'm not married, I'm not going to do it. And here's the thing. There is not a single person on the landscape of this generation who has a clue what God requires of them and doesn't give one care about obeying the standards of God.
Of course, comparing Christians to the Westboro Baptist Church is like comparing Muslims to ISIS. Most Christians and Muslims do not believe in the extreme dribble both of these groups participate in. But if it isn't obvious enough, this is why people are leaving Christianity. And I think that Christians are worried because Satan might get them, or the gays might take over the world, or something like that. I don't know. Christians believe in nonsensical garbage. But the one thing that is different from a Christian conversion to an atheistic conversion is that atheists leave Christianity organically. Non-believers don't feel the need to sell their lack of faith to convert people by force and manipulation. You can simply look at the evidence and come to your own conclusion on how religion operates. See, there is no manipulative tactics involved. There is no need to get children to buy into your religion or anti-religious agenda in this case, because they'll eventually grow up into the type of people they want to become one day. You shouldn't censor kids from the outside world because they will grow up into uninformed adults who take offense over trivial things like swear words, but won't bat an eye to churches that raise money to bail out pedophiles out of prison. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends. It would help me out abundantly. And if you wish to see more of my content, you can subscribe for more. I post videos every week ranging from political commentary, opinions on the music industry, and chapter discussions on One Piece. But if you wish to show your support, head over to Decaying Records, where we help artists and musicians excel at their passion. We sell all sorts of merchandise for your liking. And now, I bid you adieu. Until next time.